let's not count out these Jazz, because that was one hell of a performance that they put on last night, and I loved every second of it. So let's talk about it, and then we'll talk about your Bulls, because I do want to talk about something about the Bulls. Is we got to see the Bulls actually look like a good basketball team, and showing that maybe they shouldn't blow it up. Maybe they just need to trade some players, because a Pat Bev, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan team with Pat Will ain't that bad. Maybe you trade Nikola Vucevic for a guy like Clint Capella.
Joel Embiid. Yeah, all right, we'll discuss, because I don't like that.
Okay. What I'm saying is there is no superstar center going to be available for trade.
I don't need a center, and we'll talk about that later.
Let's talk about.
Did a great job last night. I don't want to hear it.
All right, we're talking about the Utah Jazz, and the Utah Jazz right here. Ochai Agbaji came out and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is And no, this was a game where we saw Ochai drop 25. Udoka Azubuike, career high 13 points, 6 for 6 from the field. All right. He came out, showed up, had like 8 rebounds as well. Chris Dunn had a double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds, a few rebounds, and a few steals. Ochai Agbaji with 27, 19 from Kelly O, 10 points, 5 blocks, and 8 rebounds from Walker Kessler, 12 points on 10 three-point attempts from Simone Fontecchio. What are your thoughts on this Utah Jazz team?
They're in the playoffs. Ochai. The Cavs should look into Ochai. Do you think? I think he'd be perfect for him. Classic. Walker Kessler's the real deal. Talen's got that Chicago hunger. You know, they're a great team. I didn't watch a game because it's way too late for me, but good for them. Nice win. They're hanging in there. It's crazy. I remember talking about Utah. I actually remember sending you a text when Utah got off to their start, and I remember saying, like, make a Jazz video. And you're like, I forget what you said. You're like, I'll make one tomorrow or something. I'm like, just do it now. They just won, and it was a cool way to start the season, and they've kept it up. You're muted.
This is a team I just tried unmuting myself on the wrong page. I was like, but I think this is definitely a team that has done a great job at just acquiring talent. And we know that this Utah Jazz team probably won't look the same next year, all right? But they have the pieces: Ochai, Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen, all right? And even if they don't keep Simone Fontecchio, you could probably get a first-round pick for him now. Kelly Olynyk, you probably could get a first-round pick for him. They have multiple guys that if they do decide to trade, they could easily get decent compensation for them.
I think Kelly O is perfect, man. I miss him on the Houston Rockets.
There's so many teams that I feel like
he's literally perfect. So, Sexton's got to come back too. He's a great, interesting piece. I wonder where actually Lauri is on the MVP ranking. I wonder if he's even on it. But
no, I agree. I think it's definitely Lauri. I don't know if he's on the MVP ballot at all, but
what do you think he is on most improved?
Oh, I think most people now have him winning because because there's been this whole thing where people have like argued this year. There's brought up a conversation that like, what really is most improved? Is it just raising your scoring total, or is it a guy like, which is like nothing against Shea. Shea is playing MVP ball, but it's like who actually most improved? Like Shea was already averaging 30 last year. He only just played 20 games, basically. And the thing is the conversation is, a lot of people are saying it should be Lauri because he was somebody who went from being just a catch and shoot 3 stretch big man to like a number 1 option. Like that's, I think more and more people are agreeing like that's most improved player, that he like radically changed his game and like like reinvigorated himself and like redefined who he was as a basketball player.
Yeah, exactly. He became a star. Most improved always. I'm never a fan of who they give most improved out. It's usually like someone somewhat deserving, but I mean, last year, as far as I'm concerned, Jordan Poole was most improved. So,
and that one's definitely, it's hard to.
They're all pretty tough.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts though. Okay, do you think this is a team that's still trying to make the playoffs, or do you think they don't care?
What do you mean? Yeah, they're in the playoffs. It's like 10 games left. What are you talking about? They're in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I mean, but they could easily fall out of it.
Yeah, so can all the other teams. 100% this team is trying to compete for the playoffs. No doubt about it. And in the Western Conference, you never know what might happen. You never know.
No, you're right. You're right. And that conference is just like almost asinine how like close it is. People were talking about, oh my God, the West, it's wide open. But I mean, it's literally wide open. Like anybody could win that.
The West is begging for someone to take it. And I'm starting to come around to these uniforms. It kind of looks like
I haven't came around. I'll never come around. Like they just don't hurt my eyes anymore.
Yeah, I don't like the white ones. I think those are extremely boring. These ones aren't too bad. I don't know. They kind of remind me of Oregon. Like if Oregon lost like millions and millions and millions in their budget, and they had to just like throw something out there. This is what it would look like. But it's embarrassing. I hope the NBA, sports in general, everything's kind of getting a little bit more refined and more simplistic, like just all across the world. And I really hope this isn't a trend for where jerseys are headed to, because these are, oh man, like the white ones they're just so boring.
I know, I get you. I hear you. It's not an ideal situation. But I think right here, Ochai, he's a stud, okay? But this team, they have a lot of players, and regardless of what happens right here, this team is going to be, I think, a team to, like, I don't think a lot of people are going to want to mess with them, Regardless in the playoffs, but next year, I think once they get more talent and they have all this cap space, it's going to be a dangerous game.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the game that you said was the best game last night. A game where I made a video and said the Chicago Bulls